It's time to start the full body prompt. Where I left off, I wasn't sure if I was totally happy with the headshot, particularly the placement of his eyes, the spacing of him. But just like I said, I was sitting there way too long, and coming back, actually, I look at this and I think it looks fine. If I really was bothered, though, I would just regenerate it, use the prompt that I had to generate this, and then either just do a regeneration with the same prompt or maybe tweak my prompt a little bit more. But actually looking at this, I think this looks pretty awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and use this. This is where I left off. That's good. So I don't have to do any more with the headshot here. So with the full body prompt now, I'm going to use the information, the description of the character from the headshot. So I've already copied that here. And I'm going to be describing now his entire body and his base outfit look. So this is not his, like, what he's normally wearing. Although this character, he doesn't actually wear that many clothes in the first place. So this might actually be his full body look in this case. Like other characters I've done, like just like basic, like underclothes, like a tank top and shorts or something like that. For him, I think I will actually just put him in his regular outfit. Yeah, I copied his base character information and I carried that over. So the headshot prompt is going to be however long it's going to be. The full body prompt is going to be even longer because now, in addition to the character description of the headshot, now I describe the rest of their body. So in this case, when I mentioned their physique in the first part of the prompt, eyes, his teeth, mouth, physique, yeah, large hulking crocodilian physique. In this case, I'm going to leave this alone because that still describes what his actual body looks like. I include the physique in the headshot prompt because it's going to build, when I do the full body prompt, it's going to build on what it sees in the headshot. So it knows that he's kind of a bulky guy. He's going to be kind of big. So when it does the headshot or the full body, it knows to make him bigger. But if you have like a certain body type, then this is where you definitely would put in like whatever, like if they're supposed to be like a little bit rounder or thicker or slender or skeletal or like just whatever. This is where you now really put more descriptive words to describe what their body shape and size is like. Okay, so I still keep the same facial expression. Yeah, that's fine. So now, what is he wearing? Based on my original prompt, I originally said he was wearing a brown barbarian belt across his chest and waist. So actually, I'm going to just take that. This is my 2024 prompt. So I'm going to just take that part because he actually really doesn't wear that much. It's just a few accessory type things. So I'll keep wearing, and then I'll just replace this part. Okay, so wearing a brown barbarian belt across his chest and waist. And in this case, he doesn't wear shoes. So in this case, yeah, I'll describe his feet. I'll say croco. So he has crocodilian. I'll say he has large crocodilian clawed feet. And okay, I always try to describe from top to bottom. So he has okay, large crocodilian legs, I guess. Okay, legs and clawed feet. I do not want him to look humanoid. I definitely want him to have more of an animal shape to him while still standing upright, which is anthropomorphic. And I've already got that descriptor here in the base prompt, so I'm not going to say it again in this case. Okay, so wearing a brown barbarian belt across his chest and waist. Now I could be more descriptive, like what texture is this? I'm thinking like of a leather belt. From where he comes from, yeah, it's a lot of natural materials. I want to say dark brown. So wearing a dark brown blended natural materials, fabrics. So blended natural leather. Let's see, let's try that. Okay, so wearing a dark brown blended natural leather barbarian belt across his chest and waist. So barbarian belt, let's see, so he's kind of a hunter, so, but he doesn't really need like knives and spears or anything because he himself, like, he has claws and everything. So what would he be carrying on him then? Pouches, but something, well, because of his hands. Oh yeah, I need to describe his hands. Yeah, in this case, because he's not a human or humanoid, I need to define certain aspects about him. I will continue describing his physical characteristics before describing what he's wearing. Now, I will finish the sentence about where he's wearing because I try to finish whatever task I'm working on while I'm working on it, especially when I'm working within the prompt because I don't want to have gaps or odd places in my prompt. Okay, so let me finish what he's wearing and then I'll go back to describing what he physically looks like as far as his body goes. So he's wearing a dark brown blended natural leather barbarian belt with a few sturdy pouches, I guess, pouches for collecting small items. What made me think about this is because his hands are also large, so it would be impractical to have small pouches because he's not going to be able to actually use them. Uh, okay, does he need to carry anything? He could just like carry a separate bag. We're just gonna skip this part because, yeah, practically he doesn't need to have pouches like on his person. So we'll just leave that alone. So I try to make it, still somewhat logical, and I tailor my prompts to the character or whatever I have in mind for my character's lore and personality and all that. Across his chest. Oh yeah, metal. Okay, and with blended natural leather barbarian belt. Okay, with uh dull, or was it called tarnished? With tarnish, yeah. With tarnished faded gold metal accents? Metal accent pieces, metal accent detail, okay, so metal accent details. Okay, there we go. So wearing a dark brown blended, so like blended natural leather barbarian belt with tarnished faded gold metal accent details across his chest and waist. Okay, let me look at the reference image. I mean, the image that I had generated before. I do like the wrappings around his wrists. That's a cool idea. 'Cause I don't think I asked for that. I think it just generated that on its own. That's a cool idea. And that's a nice thing about AI. It can come up with things that you didn't think of yourself. And it might be like maybe a good idea. Like, oh, actually that's pretty cool. So I think I will add in with some cloth wrappings around his wrist. And then there's this loincloth here too, which I didn't ask for, but it's a nice touch. It's cool. It's probably part of the barbarian belt theme there. Looks like it gave him some daggers or something, but clearly he doesn't need that. I mean, I guess daggers could be projectiles. So in that case, I could see carrying a separate sharp object, but not necessarily necessary. So, okay, I'm going to add in, okay, the cloth wrappings around his wrist. And then I'm going to describe his hands and his tail. This will be the first character I've generated this year with a tail. So I'm looking forward to that for sure. So I finished describing the belt and straps. I'll just say that he has brown and tan. I don't want to be too close to his skin color. He has brown and beige. Just need to try that. Brown and beige cloth wrappings around his wrists. Yeah, say wrists. It's just okay. So he has decorative, sturdy cloth wrappings around his wrists. Now, I think I'll leave the clothing part as the last section because I wanted to continue describing his body. So I'm going to put that this part up here. And I'm gonna change the color code on this just so I can see better. Yeah, that's different enough. Okay, so that's his headshot information. And then he has large crocodilian, let's see, clawed hands. Yeah, clawed hands. And I'll say large legs and clawed feet. And then I also, so large legs. Since I continually mention crocodile, I don't think I need to see that again in this case. Yeah, he has large crocodilian clawed hands, large legs, clawed feet, and I also need to mention his tail. And a large crocodile crocodile tail. Yeah. Definitely gonna have to see what this looks like because I don't know what else to say. Like I have a general idea of how this is gonna generate, but this could go very wrong. Okay, so got his headshot. I got his overall body. I'm gonna say large reptilian legs. Reptilian legs. Okay, clawed feet and a large crocodile tail. Now he's obviously a bigger, bulky creature, and I feel like the 9:16 aspect ratio is not going to be enough space. I mean, I think you might try to zoom in on this when I really just wanted to zoom out. Okay, in this case too, instead of saying fully facing toward the camera, since he had the tail, we're not even going to see much of it. So if it wants to put him more at an angle, that's totally fine in this case. So I'm actually going to augment the base prompt here to say, I'll just say eliminate the fully part and just say facing toward the camera. Because that could still mean, even though I mean it as in, forward, straight, right at the camera. AI is going to interpret it however it could just be like his head is facing toward the camera or his body is toward the camera. There's different variations. So in this case, I'm going to let it do whatever variation it thinks because I think it might work out better. Well, okay, so let me fix the facial expression. Okay, so based on this prompt, he has a intimidating intent facial expression with his head slightly tilted downward, looking at the camera. So place that section. And then now, in addition to the facial expression, I describe the pose. And I want him to be standing, so it's always a standing pose. So I'm going to say in his case, he takes up a lot of space. I'm going to say like hulking, kind of slightly hunched over, the arms out and the legs out and everything. Just that kind of big bossy guy look. Well, let's try it out. So I already have the reference image loaded in here, the correct one. So all I need to do is just put in the prompt. So yeah, it's Nano Banana Pro, 9:16, 2K output, one image, generate for 40 credits. Okay, I clicked it. Oh, okay. Oh no. Let me break this down. Let's start with the good points. It is definitely photorealistic. I do like the belt and the cloth straps and how it did the tarnished gold metal and everything. That's actually very cool. It did put in the tail. Okay. All right. So, and you can see also he has the same face because we really focused on this headshot. And so now he looks like the same person. Bad points. He is short. One thing I forgot to mention is that he is very tall. He's actually very tall. He's like 7 feet tall or something. And clearly he's not here. So I need to change his height. And I see also his tail is not entirely in the image. So normally 9 by 16 is perfectly fine for like a humanoid person. In this case, because he is supposed to be a larger creature, I'm gonna have to check out some other aspect ratios. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to ask for it to like to zoom out. Yeah, zoom out to have his whole body in the frame. Yeah, I need to make him broad, tall, with long legs, and I need to zoom out the image. So let me make the quick note here. Okay. Let me add this to my generation history, and I'm going to download it. It automatically downloads as a PNG. So I'm going to copy this. I'll throw in the picture for this later, but right now I just want to like move along. So he's a large, I want to say in this case, a tall, broad, large, hulking crocodilian physique. So I'm augmenting the area where I had the headshot information. And then he has large crocodilian clawed hands, large, long reptilian legs, clawed feet. So I say large clawed feet. And a large crocodile tail. Like, I'm not sure about that. Okay, so I'm just gonna get rid of the large part on the crocodile tail. And so I still didn't mention his height also. I mean, I mentioned tall, but I'm gonna say 7 feet tall. I don't always use proper grammar when I write prompts because I want to write in a way for the AI to easily, quickly understand what I mean. So I would have said, I mean, it would have been 7 foot tall, but in this case, I'm saying 7 feet tall. Just like when I do ages, I would say like 17, it was like a 17-year-old teenager. Well, I just say 17 years old and then teenager. It may not make too much of a difference. I haven't like micro experimented with the terminology on that to that level, but I just find basically speaking basically and plainly works pretty well with AI. So a 7 feet tall, let me say towering also. Let's see what happens. Towering, broad, large, hulking crocodilian. Ooh, I should say muscular. Okay. So see, towering, broad. I'm gonna say, yeah, muscular. 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 Yeah. Muscular, hulking crocodilian physique. Yeah, because he does seem, well, he's really squashed down short. It's kind of like the early Godzilla suits. It kind of looks like that and it has the same stance too. Yeah. Okay. So, and 7 feet tall, towering, broad, muscular, hulking crocodilian physique. His outfit again is fine. So his head looks kind of more on the bulky side, just slightly in comparison to his body. Because his body is so small. I've had that problem before with regular humans where the head was so big, but the body was small. So I had to reprompt because I needed the proportions to still look, more realistic, more even. Okay, but hopefully by changing his height. Oh yeah, so I also, one more thing, full body shot, so full body shot, I'm gonna say zoomed out to show the entire body. So this is going to be a special augment for a large character in this case. I'll make that special color. Yeah, zoomed out to show the entire body. And so that's the nice thing, that you can have a base prompt, but you can do whatever you want with the prompt. You can change it, alter it, but do it strategically to accomplish the goal. I think I've done enough with this, so let's just see what happens. So pasting as plain text, image is still the same, headshot image is still there as a reference. Nano Banana Pro 9x16. I'm going to keep the 9x16 right now because I'm going to see if having it zoomed out is going to help have his whole body in the image. And with the tail, I might have it curled around a little bit, but again, we'll see. Okay. Yeah, generate. It looks like the new version is ready. Oh, okay. Better. You definitely do see that he's taller. So I'm seeing the thickness of his neck. I like his headshot, so I want his body to match his overall physique. He is actually still too small for what I'm envisioning. But overall, see the belt details and the cloth, that looks pretty cool. Some of it doesn't make sense. Yeah, when it comes to buckles and belts and stuff, like, what is that even attached to? That's kind of weird. Okay. All right. So it actually did curl his tail, but not in the way I was imagining. But okay. All right. So it is zoomed out to show his entire body. Awesome. Because I want to make sure it has the full thing, because anything that's hidden or not shown, AI is just going to make up. 7 feet tall, towering, broad. So, okay, I need to mention more than just broad, he's wide. I'm trying to really bulk him up. Like, he's big. We're definitely going in the right direction, though. So, this is just me like trying to think off my head, but if I really needed to like quickly come up with some ideas or descriptors, I could just go do research on the web and just look up characters that have the physique that I want, and then you could probably put that in AI and then say describe this character, and then use that terminology that the AI comes with to describe it. I just like to sit and like really think about my character and details of them. So let's see, we need to make him wider, and I think I need to use the term powerful. All right, so let's try this again. So zoomed out to show the entire body, that worked out excellent. Towering, the broad. Yep, this is why it takes me a while. Pretty much each stage of the character creation, well, the base stages of the character creation process is, for me, the headshot and the full body shot, because those are the 2 shots I need to make anything else related to the character later. So it can take me an hour to do the headshot because I'm like carefully crafting it. And then the full body shots is now carefully crafting their body, what they physically look like, again, so that I can have maximum character consistency. That's why I'm taking this time to define and perfect everything. So wide, towering. Now I'm going to keep the height part together and then do the width. So 7 feet tall, towering, wide, broad, muscular, hulking. Oh yeah, powerful, right. So I'll say powerful. At some point it might be too many descriptors, but I'll have to see how this turns out. Okay. Large, clawed feet. I'm gonna say large and then long. Okay, I don't want the claws to be long though. I try to make sure the placement of my descriptor terms are in a place where AI won't try to put two things together when I wasn't referring to those two things together. His feet are long. Long, large, clawed feet. And a crocodile tail. I was pretty satisfied. Well, yeah, it's fine. I will also say this pose, hulking standing pose. Another thing about characters is how they carry themselves. So even though I am using this as a reference, sometimes I can't like get the vibe of the character with just neutral descriptions. Sometimes I actually have to have them a little bit more posed, so they might be at a slight angle, or have their legs crossed, or like be, I don't know, something, just a little something, just to give a little bit of personality. Just nothing too much where it's covering, because the point of the reference image is to have things uncovered so that the AI can see what your character looks like. So you can use it as a reference for more complex things. I don't want to like obscure too many details. I think I can have them like more in like a battle stance or like a hunting stance, something like that. Yeah, and that way hopefully we have his legs more at a bend. Bent legs. Ooh, I can say that. Powerful reptilian creature. I'm gonna say creature legs. That way hopefully it won't be straight up and down like a human. Reptilian creature legs. Yeah. And then as far as this pose, I'm gonna say predator. Say predator hunting standing pose. So let me just quickly go through this because I've just gone through a lot of different areas and just want to make sure I get my key points. Okay. Well, okay, let's try version number 3. Okay, so version 3 is done. Uh-oh. We're losing that photorealism. He's starting to turn into an action figure. It does look cool, though, overall. Okay, so I do like the details, the belts, the straps, the wrappings. The texturing is good. So I wonder, I mean, if I were to do a different aspect ratio, which one would be better for a larger character? So output. I like the 9x16. The 16 gives the height. If I did a 4x5, it's wider, but I don't want the character to be squashed in. Okay, so still 9x16 is still the best aspect ratio for this. So if we compare from the beginning, we have short crocodile, slightly taller crocodile, still keeping the nice photorealism. And now we have this, which is still getting closer to what I want. But now he has more of a fake, kind of like highly detailed action figure look to him. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'm not sure if he has the right number of fingers, but we'll deal with that later. Okay. I do like the tail too. I definitely like how it did the scale pattern and the coloration. Like still, even though it doesn't look exactly like the reference image, it has essentially still the same look. You can tell it's still him. It still has the eyes and everything. So there's a lot good going on here. Overall, we are improving with each version. It's getting closer. So what I need from this is I think I need to actually pose him now for the space. So I need his head turned fully towards the camera because he has a long. It's like if this was a side view, 9x16 would not be the thing to do. I would have to do like a 16x9. But right now, I still want the 9x16. So what I need is I already have a headshot of him looking forward, and it knows he's a crocodile, so it knows his snout is going to be long anyway, and that's fine. When I do my prompts later, I'm still going to describe him as a crocodile, and he should still come out looking like that. Right now, I need him to look forward. So I need him to look straight at the camera. His body could still be at an angle. and I want his tail kind of curved around the back. I thought about in the front, but I don't want to cover up his feet because I need all of his key characteristics to be showing in the image. Okay, so I'm gonna go in and save all that. So let's try version number, was it number 4? So I'm gonna say hunched over, predatory, hunting, standing pose. Yeah, that's still fine. Looking directly at the camera. I'll get rid of forward and just say looking directly. Standing pose with his body at a 3/4 angle, and his, I was just say, and his tail curved around horizontally behind him. Oh yeah, I do want to say, see, towering, wide. I'm gonna say put chest after broad. Oh, broad, muscular chest. There we go. Ooh, so I'll say towering 7 feet tall. He's towering 7 feet tall. So actually, okay, and then I'll do comma, wide, broad, muscular chest, comma, powerful, hulking, crocodilian physique. By saying crocodilian, though, since crocodiles are kind of bulky and wide, maybe because he's still like an alien creature, so it's kind of a blended idea of a reptilian creature that's based on crocodiles. Maybe I'll just say reptilian physique instead. I'm gonna say reptilian creature. Okay, I think I've done enough. So we will plug this in. Okay, it's a quick scan. Yeah. So this time I focused especially on posing him so that his body will fit within the aspect ratio while still showing enough of the details about him. It's taking a little bit longer to generate. It's at 280 seconds already. Okay, it's finally finished. It took over 300 seconds. Okay. Ooh. You're getting closer. Okay, so it brought back the photorealism. That is awesome. Wow. This is so cool. Okay, so as far as what I changed here, well, okay, so his body is not at a 3/4 angle, but it's okay because since I have it zoomed out to show the entire body, uh, that's ultimately what matters here. His, the straps and the belt and everything, that looks fine. I don't have any like specific patterns or anything in mind for that. I just like the materials look right. Although I guess actually when I think about it, as far as buckles go, again, because of the way his hands are, maybe they wouldn't use buckles like that. But I'm not going to be too nitpicky at this point. I can dress him up whatever later, but as far as him and his actual physical attributes, this looks pretty cool. And if this was at a side view, then I would do a 16:9 probably, because his mouth and snout would be, of course, much longer, and his tail would be longer. Having his tail, telling it to curve out behind him like that, allows the space for it to go like on the, was that the z-axis? Yeah, the z-axis to go behind him and then kind of curve around so it still shows the length of his tail. But I wanted to make sure I had the whole tail in there because again, anything that AI can't see is going to make it up. So I want him to look consistent. So now I'm just examining this. I'm trying to think. So is this enough? Is this good? When I put him with other characters, I am of course going to describe character heights in relation to each other later. So if he's supposed to be like 7 feet tall, then like 6 feet, like might be just right down here somewhere. So anybody shorter than him, so yeah, normal humans would be like down here. Wow, that's huge. Okay. Hmm. I just feel like I think I want his thighs to be a little bit thicker. Yeah, I'm just formulating now how I'm going to describe this. I think I'm happy with the head part and the top part and the shoulders and the arms. Since it's all based on a crocodile, I just keep thinking in that context. Like, okay, because I've never seen him in photorealism before, so now this is new for me, and actually being able to visualize this. Okay, so I do want his thighs to be bigger, thicker, more muscular, basically. And other than that, I think I'm actually fine with this. I am going to regenerate one more time at least, just to see with those adjustments, see if it will have an new overall picture that I really like. If not, this one's not too bad. Okay, so let's try now version 5. And I'm still I have enough credits for this. So that's why I'm taking the time to do these credits now. So yeah, version 5. So actually I need to copy just all this so I don't have to keep writing up stuff. That's the nice thing about writing up a template. Like once you get a template that works for you, then you could just keep reusing it. Because it took time. It took a long time to formulate and test the prompts to get to this point in the first place. 1, 2, 3. But once it's done, then you can start basically plug and play, and then the process becomes a lot more fun and a lot more efficient. So the main things I changed, as I said, with a trim waist. Okay, long, powerful reptilian creature legs with thick, muscular thighs and calves. Okay, and calves. Calves. So instead of looking directly at the camera, the head. Ooh. Oh wait, okay, no, if I say, see, this is one of those instances if I said his head looking directly at the camera, slightly tilted downward, if I'm still referring to his head, but by having slightly tilted downward after camera, now it sounds like it's talking about the camera. The camera is gonna be slightly tilted downward, because that's not what we want. So I need to make sure I have where my words are in the correct position in my prompt. Our intimidating intent facial expression with his head slightly tilted downward. And I'll say head turned. The head turned, looking directly at the camera. Hunched over predatory hunting standing pose with his body positioned. Position at a 3/4 angle, comma, and his tail curved around horizontally behind him. I'm doing a lot of augments actually on this prompt here, but it's because the base prompt is what it is. It's just a base prompt, but then you add in the details you need to tailor it to your specific character. I've been mostly doing humanoid and anthropomorphic type characters, but you can have multiple limbs or totally different shapes and everything, so you can go like wild with imagination with this. This version 5. Nano Banana Pro, 9x16, 2K. I just keep checking my settings because sometimes if the page refreshes, then the settings get changed, so I don't want that to happen. Yeah, generate version 5. And again, if version 5 doesn't turn out right, this one really isn't that bad, and I could probably just move forward with this. Because over time, I'm still going to keep tweaking my prompts and my descriptions. And so in the end, I'm still going to get closer to what I want. But I'm really happy with how this is turning out so far. Oh, wow. Okay, that was quick. I was still talking and it's already done with the new version. Okay. So this is version 5. Okay. So it has imposed in the way I wanted. His head is turned to look toward the camera, but his body is at a 3/4 angle, facing away from the camera. It has his tail out, curved horizontally behind him. His whole body is in the frame, so this did so many things that I wanted. The problem here is, oh, okay. It's just because I guess his tail's really thick because the way his leg looks, it looks like it has this spines on it. But I think it's just because the coloration is really similar. Anyway, it looks actually squashed in again. So by asking for the thick muscular thighs, I think thick was the wrong term because thick now made him more short, a little bit stubbier, like on the first image, compared to this one where he has more slimness. And so I feel like his legs are a little bit too thin here. But see, that's why also posing matters because sometimes you just can't tell the angle right in certain poses. That's why I wanted him to be more at an angled pose. That way you can get a sense that he has more size to him than just looking at him straight on where you can't tell all that. So between the two, I actually I like that it posed him exactly the way I asked for in this one. And he appears to have the correct number of fingers too. 1, 2, 3, 4, the thumb. There's a thumb, 1, 2, 3. We can assume 4. It looks like they try to do a fourth one there, so his hands are right. This one looks like he just has the 3 fingers. But ultimately, this one still is my favorite one. So version 4 is still better. So I think I'm done with this for right now. Like, again, it's good for me to just take a break. And I think I'm actually happy with this one. So out of the 5 tries, it was a good start, but of course have to tweak from there. So I got him more into the general physique that I wanted, but he was standing too humanoid-like. So I got him more into more of a creature pose, but then I lost the realism. Then I got this one, version 4, which is what I'm going to go with now. So I got the physique that I wanted, basically. The outfit looks pretty cool, has the photorealism. So ultimately, this is, really basically what I wanted. And then when I tried to make an alteration, I used bad terminology, and so it took away from it a little bit, but he's posed perfectly. So in time, I do see myself, I'm going to come back to this character and get him in different poses. I'm going to put him in scenes and stuff. So it took me actually about an hour and a half to do this one, but that's not too unusual though. It could take anywhere for an hour to 2 hours. When I'm working on each of the stages of the character creation process, so the headshot, the full body shot, and then really, again, those are the 2 base reference images that I need to create anything else. Once I start dressing them up, I need the headshot and the full body shot, the base look, to put them in different outfits, and then I can use those specific outfit images to put them into scenes. So overall, I am really happy with this, and that will basically conclude this. So I'll highlight this section to indicate that this is the winner. There it is. That's how I do full body images of my characters based on the crafted, specifically crafted headshot. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more videos or walkthroughs, tutorials, and just whatever projects I'm working on. Okay, see you later.